family. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor here on African Diaspora News Channel. Please be sure to like and to share this broadcast out when you get a chance. Listen, family. Certainly you all know all the stuff that's been going on with our brother Rayshard Brooks's case. Thankfully, the very good and righteous DA, our dear brother Paul Howard, charged these killers. One of them he charged with felony murder, which means he could be looking at the death penalty if convicted. And the way Atlanta's legal stuff goes, they've got to go through the whole process there in terms of the grand jury and everything. But he was able to bring arrest warrants, and of course they've already been arrested and so forth, and charges prior to that because of the way Atlanta works. But then he has to now impanel a grand jury. Well, there has been major backlash. Major backlash because this black DA is doing what's right. We know that black folks are disproportionately murdered because we're black. We know that they're talking about the white police officers just need new training. No, they don't, because we know that Dylan Roof, the killer of our 9 black family members at Mother Emanuel's church some years ago, the police, he fled, and the police knew that when they were looking for the guy, they was looking for a serial killer, and they managed to take him in without a hitch, and then they had the nerve to ask him if he was hungry, and they took him to Burger King. We have seen numerous videos and other evidence of other white killers, murderers, violent offenders who were taken into custody without any problems whatsoever. So it's not an issue of training. We know that black folk are being targeted. So with that being said, some of the major push that's been coming is from, believe it or not now, U.S. Representative Doug Collins. It says here, and I'm reading from 11 Alive, Georgia News. It says U.S. Representative Doug Collins, a Republican from Georgia, has thrown his support behind, watch this, the Atlanta Police Union in its conflict with the city's mayor and Fulton County's district attorney. Early Sunday afternoon, Collins renewed his call for the appointment of a special prosecutor in the Rayshard Brooks case. Collins is running against a U.S. senator and so forth. Watch this. So this U.S. senator, who has no jurisdiction in Atlanta in terms of the case, charges, jury, the court, legal proceedings, he has none of that. But he is using his federal weight as a U.S. congressman to renew his call. So he's repeatedly called for a special prosecutor to be brought in on this. Now watch this. When black folks have asked for a special prosecutor to be brought in other cases because the white DAs are compromised, they don't want to do it. But now that a DA is actually taking a stand against rogue and savage, murderous police officers, now they're calling for special prosecutors in this unnecessary situation. So he doesn't even have any jurisdiction, but he is meddling in issues of justice. Now, why would this U.S. representative, this congressman, involve himself in this? Watch this video clip, family.
On Sunday, some state leaders stood behind the Atlanta Police Union, publicly showing their support for officers. Some officers emotional as they spoke about morale and fallout with some communities following the death of Rayshard Brooks and 2 of their colleagues charged.
We do the job to protect. We expect to be protected by our leaders, and they've all failed us. All of them. So I appreciate you all being here.
Fulton County DA Paul Howard charged former officer Garrett Rolfe with murder and Devin Brosnan with aggravated assault. Congressman Doug Collins slammed Howard's decision to charge them before the GBI completed its investigation, calling the move political. Howard is running for a 7th term, and Collins is making a run for a U.S. Senate seat.
You cannot prosecute cases until the investigation is over. You don't do it for politics. Your job is to find justice for everyone, not race, not class, not anything else.
Collins is asking Attorney General Chris Carr to remove Howard from the case and appoint a special prosecutor, similar to the Ahmaud Arbery case out of Brunswick. But Carr cited a state law saying he can't do that unless the DA recuses himself or a court removes him. This call comes after several officers have called out sick following the charges. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms on CNN Sunday morning had a message for officers.
This is not about division from our public safety personnel. We value our officers in Atlanta, but this continues to be about where we are in this country and making sure that we don't have people who are part of our force who are not respectful of our communities.
I just cannot believe this. You see the Atlanta Police Union members, you see police officers crying. What are they crying for? They're upset because charges are being brought against an officer who broke the law in numerous ways because he didn't properly tell our brother Rayshard what he was being apprehended for. It was just several other things that was listed in the charges. But the fact that we have numerous video footage and different angles showing that he was unjustly murdered, and after one of his killers shot him, he kicked his body and then said, "I got him." This is who the police are crying about? What are they so worried about? Are they crying because they feel like that this situation is a glimpse of them losing control, to mistreat us, to kill us without consequence? That's a big image. There's a big difference when you see Paul Howard, the black prosecutor, standing there with other black attorneys and other black legal officials, and then contrast that picture with Doug Collins, a U.S. representative, and all of these law enforcement agencies. Family, I have said again and again, I'm going to keep saying there is a changing of the guards, and on a higher level, there's a changing of the gods. When I say gods, I mean one with force and power. It's important that we stand and support black DAs that bring strong charges against our killers. It's important that we stand and support black men and women that stand up in the face of white supremacy. I personally gave money to our brother Paul Howard's campaign. The black DA is coming up for re-election again. And shout out also to, I believe, Brother Phil Scott as well. I believe he has given, as well as several other black influencers that have been given to his campaign. It's not that our brother is perfect, the DA, but when you stand and do what you're supposed to do, yes, we're going to hold you accountable, but we're also responsible for supporting you. Why? If we acknowledge, black family, that we're in a war, we got to make sure that the war chest is fat. Oh my God, somebody black talk black to me. Did you hear what I said? If we're at war, you've got to make sure that the war chest is fat so that we can do war well and be victorious. It may look like, and it may actually appear in America that we're outnumbered, but around the world, we know that the darker peoples of the world outnumber members of the dominant society 11-1. But family, it's not just about being outmanned, it's about being out-organized. And as long as we are on code, as long as black folks are unified, our collective unity is going to give us the advantage. Our collective wisdom will make sure that we're on the cutting edge and that we're going to win. We've got to remember, black family, that we are more than what meets the eye. See, I speak to you physically and I speak to you metaphysically or spiritually. When you move in that manner, you are backed by an army you can see and an army you can't see. I was reading the other day that right after the charges were announced, almost a third, based on one of the reports, of police, Atlanta police force called in sick. Then we just found out that every single officer on the Atlanta police force just got a $500 bonus to help them with morale. Isn't that something? During the wake of this Holy Uprising 2020, you all know that's what I've been calling it, the Holy Uprising, where Black folks have been resisting in America and around the world. Shout out to the Black diaspora. Mwah. Some of our activists have demanded that the police be defunded and that those funds be redirected in better areas to help the Black community. Because at the end of the day, you know, a lot of crime has to do with economics, the lack of economics. So in the face of us telling them to defund the police, Atlanta Police Department is giving them all $500 bonuses. For what? For murder? And you know how they love to say, oh, it's just a few bad apples in the police force. Well, what do you call almost a third, based on one of the reports, of the police force calling in? Are those just a few bad apples? Why would all of those police officers be feeling so down and feel like the morale is off because charges were brought against officers who murdered unjustly one of our people, and it was caught on camera and broke all kind of other laws? Don't forget, after he murdered our brother, he kicked him and then he said, I got him. Did you hear what I said? After he shot Rayshard Brooks, he kicked him and said, I got him. This is who these so-called good police are backing? Oh, I say fire them all and hire members of like the FOI, Fruit of Islam, and the Nation of Islam, that know how to go in and handle their people through proper conflict resolution. They have a documented history of causing crime to decrease and peace to increase in the Black community. Fire the police and hire those folks. Deputize them. Keisha Lance Bottoms. It's important, family, that we stand with Black folks that's standing for us. There are other Black officials that are not doing this kind of stuff, that's not bringing strong charges. I want our brother to know that we have our back. And to the degree that some people don't like who he is, they don't think he's been perfect in this, the DA, they don't think that the DA has been perfect in other areas. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump is a president of the United States. He is a credibly alleged sexual assaulter. He admitted that he assaults women on the tape. His first wife, under oath, said that he raped her. We know he's a documented racist. We know that he stiffed numerous people and companies of their money. We know he's a documented liar. But yet, folks back this liar and this criminal. America puts a whole lot of other criminals in place. America respects other sexual assaulters, Harvey Weinstein and others that are in Hollywood, that's in media, that run major networks. We know that they still support even the Catholic Church, even though they have all kinds of priests that have molested children. It's a global issue with a lot of them. But yet we're not going to stand by our brother. The devil is a lie. Black family, we need to know what the time is and what must be done in the right time. So shout out to this Black DA. I want us to stand with him. I want us to hold the line. And family, just know they're going to come with other tricks in the future. But we need to stand firm. And we need to fight with those that's fighting with us. Somebody talk Black to me. My name is Vicki Dillard. Please be sure to check out my website at MissVickiTV.com. The link will be in the chat. Follow me on Instagram at VickiXDillard. Also follow me on Facebook on my Facebook fan page at Vicki Dillard, and on Twitter at DillardVicki. Again, I can't wait to see you on Instagram, especially at VickiXDillard. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. Mwah.